disintegration of families. There was a lot of individualism. There was a lack of love, of brotherhood, of hugs and embraces. That is why they should be dedicating funds to address the causes.
Mexican President Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador made waves last month after blaming America's fentanyl crisis on the decline of the American family. Despite being a member of a leftist party, Obrador doesn't shy away from discussing the importance of traditional values. In a new op-ed, Sohrab Ahmari breaks down how it's possible for leaders to be both liberal and socially conservative, and he joins us now. So, first of all, this article blew me away. And so first, let's just explain, how can you be a leftist without being a progressive?
Yeah, well, President Trump described A.M.L.O, as he's known by his initials, as a socialist, but the kind of socialist I like. And as usual, he captured it in one line.
Yes, he did.
So he's a leftist in the sense that he's a man of the old left. He thinks government should take care of working people, protect them from the ravages of the market, which are very real, supports unions, higher minimum wages, and so forth. But he's not a cultural progressive. So how often have you heard progressives here talk about the importance of social, of families and family values?
Not here in the States. They don't.
In Europe, they don't talk about that stuff. So, or he talks about, for example, the danger that feminism represents to what he calls the most important social security institution in Mexico, namely the natural family. So he goes up against a lot of things that are sacred cows for the wider progressive movement.
Yeah.
So in Latin America, there's this possibility of this combination of being relatively on the left on economic issues, but culturally conservative. And A.M.L.O, President Lopez Obrador, represents that.
Yeah, it's super fascinating. And I think about, for example, when he says the Social Security net. I mean, yes, government can be a protection against the ravages of capitalism, but so can family. I had a priest once tell me, when he asked me how many kids I had, I said, at the time I had 8. And I said, I have 8. He goes, Mexican Social Security. He was a Mexican priest. And I'm like, you know what? That's true. It's better than a stranger in a nursing home to have your family take care of you. So how do you protect the family so the family can take care of each other? And so what's the lesson for America? Because I know I'm going through my own philosophical realignment, where I'm going, not what's right for, taxes and small government, but what's right for families.
Correct. Well, a lot of the people who voted for President Trump in 2016 fit that same electoral profile. They don't want Social Security cut, but they also think, men are men, women are women. They believe in a kind of cultural conservatism. And that kind of quadrant of our politics is massively underserved. President Trump served it as best he could. But there aren't many other options like that. But it's a very powerful force, because working class people, they might be, again, in support of private economy unions, they might be in support of Social Security, but they also don't want the full spectrum progressive agenda with the trans and this and that. And they see that in some ways as a threat to the things they value the most.
Yeah, I don't want to sugarcoat A.M.L.O, because I do think he's in bed with the cartels, who are quite evil. But he's also taken on genetically engineered food. He's saying, I don't want genetic corn, that's being pushed by America into Mexico. He's banning that. I mean, he's taking on a lot of issues that I think on the left and right, I don't see anybody doing. So is there a politician in your mind in America right now, whether a Democrat or Republican, who has done somewhat of a job of mixing this?
I think the closest we got, I have to say, was President Trump, right?
Yeah.
In other words, taking on, for example, free trade, which was a conservative orthodoxy. We were all for free trade. And he's like, hey, it actually hasn't worked out for, union guys in Michigan or in the upper Midwest.
I've seen Josh Hawley a little bit kind of take some of this on as well.
I would say Senator Rubio is kind of sounding similar notes. So it's out there. By the way, A.M.L.O is also very anti-green. He's shut out renewables competition because he wants what he calls energy sovereignty for cheap gas.
Yeah, he started coal plants.
That's right.
Yeah, just like China. It's a fascinating topic. So, Sohrab, if you haven't seen the article, it's in Compact, which is a great website if you haven't subscribed or seen it. Thank you for bringing this forward. I think we all need new ways of thinking.
Thank you, Rachel.
All right. Still ahead.